Hello everyone, welcome back to another Age of Empires 4 commentary. I am Beyond, and thank you so much for supporting the past couple videos and the channel as a whole. I really do appreciate that. If you are enjoying the channel, please do subscribe and leave a like on this video if you enjoy this type of content. Now let's get right into this one. This is Journey to Diamond Season 5 edition. We're going to try our best to get up in 2v2 up into that diamond status yet again. We fell short last time, got into that mid-plat type of area, but we're going to give it a go again. Now as you can see, I am spawning as the English. I can pop up the poll that I did on my channel page and the community page. Unfortunately, for anyone that doesn't like English, English was the chosen winner, so I will continue my English rampage throughout the 2v2 platinum scene, and we'll see what we can do. I might switch it up towards the end of the season just for the cause of it, but I've been doing a lot of streaming and a lot of other things, so it might be one of those things where I might just not switch just for the sake of it, but we'll have to wait and see. Introductions quickly. We have, of course, me in the orange as the English. We have John as the Chinese, so he did make a switch, so everyone that wanted him to give a little bit of a switch up, here we go. He's trying Chinese. I think this is like his third or fourth game doing it. Up top, our opponents are both Plat 1. The droid you're looking for in the purple is the English, and then the Humongous is over here as the blue, as the English player as well. Our game plan this time around was to just essentially protect John at all costs and take over the middle of this map where all these resources are really stationed. So that's going to be the game plan at this point, is just making sure that John can kind of boom behind this, and I'll do my best to do a little bit of damage or hold off whatever all in or anything they might be going for. I also know if I was two English players and saw a Chinese Civ down bottom right, I'm going to be going in for that all-in play on John for sure. So we'll have to see if we can stop that from happening. Now, if you do want me to cast your games, I've been casting actually a few on Twitch as well. So go follow me on Twitch. I've been streaming more and more. So I'd really appreciate if you guys come check me out there. I've been casting, doing viewer game stuff like that. And then on top of that, also, I'm going to be, if you do want to get your game casted on YouTube, please send it in to the email link below and let me know and follow the instructions below, and I'd be happy to give your games a cast. But yeah, so I mean, as we usually do in these type of videos, we have some downtime before things get a little bit spicy in 2v2s. Nothing too crazy coming out. We see council halls galore coming up, all the English players going for the stock standard stuff. John has not started up his feudal age just yet, but the longer we can let him just kind of hang out and chill, the better for sure. Already going for that barracks, which is going to be good. I think it's going to be a nice way to counteract some of the early aggression that might be coming his way. As you can see, we have a very early outpost over here for the droid you're looking for. I mean, maybe he's a little bit concerned of me running across the entire map to get with those longbowmen, but even then, seems a bit preemptive, honestly. But if he's going to be going for that boom situation, then maybe if that's his job in this 2v2 matchup, is if he goes for that second TC, stuff like that, then I can maybe see why he decided to go for that. But there we go. I am the first English to ding age 2. So it's always nice to beat. We do have the Abbey of Kings over here. Sorry, I thought that was a council hall. That is totally my bad. Abbey of Kings getting a little bit of life these days. I'm also going to be featuring a Abbey of Kings build that I saw from one of the Twitch streamers that I follow. So I'm going to be doing a breakdown video of that gameplay, showing you guys a new English build. It's going to drop that on Wednesday. And then on Friday, I have a really cool video for you guys. My friend Matt actually decided to, for the first time ever, play an RTS game, and then played specifically Age of Empires 4 when it was on sale during the summer sale. So we got him to play Age of Empires. Then on top of that, we had him play John, and I was coaching Matt. John started with about a 5-minute delay, didn't do anything, and you can go see the results on Friday. I'm going to commentate over the game, give you little snippets of the audio. It's a little bit more editing intensive, which is why it's taking me a little bit longer than I normally would like to get it out. And also, I went on a nice relaxing vacation last week. Well, not really like full vacation, but it's a little bit something something. So it was nice, which is why the videos kept kind of coming. But I made sure that you guys had plenty of videos to enjoy from there. Scout doing a little bit of harass. John's walling off, just to be very, very sure. Love that he walled in his entire wood line just to make sure that he is okay. Also has a nice little outpost out front of the gold, which I do like for China. John's also dropping this Barbican of the Sun. Would probably love to see it a little bit more forward over here. That's because on this map, as you can see, there's some wood line over here. So it's not really protecting much, and they can just kind of come, if they're coming from this way, they can come from over here. So actually for John, I would have loved to see it a little bit more forward to protect this gold a little bit more. But again, he's getting new to Chinese, and I'm just a sassy caster, so it doesn't really matter what I think of the endeavor. Barracks coming out as well, just in case those horsemen start to stream out, which we know that everyone kind of loves to throw in. We have an early blacksmith coming out of here for Humongous. Getting that early range defense early on. And I'm just going to be massing as many archers as I possibly can. And I did try to do a little bit of damage, but I saw that he had a squad out front, and with that back end +1, I'm not doing anything about that. I do see that the horsemen are coming out a little bit over here because of the Abbey of Kings, which is to be expected. Do a little bit of harassment with that king as well. Looks like we have some we don't have an A move, unfortunately, on this king, so missed out on the opportunity to get a nice charge off on this villager. The villager ran for the hills, actually made it into the outpost safe and sound. The king's going to try to do some damage over here. I think I call over John, be like, oh, you good over there? Because I got a whole battalion that I could just sneak back behind this and sit behind your wall and shoot them. But at this point, the king's going to give up on that wall and be like, oh, we'll just try to... Is he going to go around to actually get into John's base? He is, but only one horseman over here. We have a few over here as well. But when horsemen are spread out, that's not going to do much damage in the slightest. I am floating a little bit too much gold, so hopefully I start to spend that pretty soon. We don't even have wheelbarrow, which is super unfortunate. So hopefully I can get going with that pretty soon as well. I don't have any spearmen just yet either, which again, I could improve for sure. There's the wheelbarrow finally dinging in, and here's the horseman. But I mean, China has a very strong TC, especially with this Barbican over here. John's going to be A-okay hanging out, and it looks like they have decided they're going to go after me at this point, or that at least Blue is. Blue has decided that he is going to go all in for me. But honestly, I have 16 archers with Network of Castles, so this scout's going to get picked off. Ooh, just nice micro there. But I think I'm going to get a free horseman, which is always nice. Yep. That's pretty much free. That's done and dusted at the back end side. I should have built this farm on the back end side of my base, but I can't always be perfect. I do have the blacksmith going up. I believe I tried to call that out as I went. Don't know what I just did. I decided to call it and make sure that I got a little bit farther wood line as well, which is always nice to see. Kind of some small improvements here and there. I'm trying to get a little bit better as we go on, so I can actually get to diamond instead of just sitting in platinum, and also people will respect my opinion just that much more as I tick up in the ranks. John is also great at macro, so this is great that they're leaving him alone. That is the ideal situation at these lower levels. If John's left alone, I think we're going to be sitting in a very, very good spot. John and I have pretty much established that he is the better at macroing and I am better at microing and knowing some counters. So I can help him with when we see a comp coming at us, I can kind of tell what's going to be going out. Also, I'm hows don't look. But also on top of that, I think I'm a little bit better at defending with that micro at this point. So it's actually really great that they're deciding to go all in on me. This is actually the ideal situation because then John can just hang out over here. And also, John's also very good at helping me out and defending. So the Imperial Academy is also going up. Song Dynasty is coming in safe and sound. We have the whole squad over here, 25 bows, 5 horsemen, and a ram. That's not really enough, though, to dive an English TC, especially with myself constantly producing these archers and I now have up to 22 of them. So 22 plus a TC, it's going to be pretty hard for them to fully push in and get the job done here, but we'll have to wait and see. I also have a very large back end area, and this wall is going to actually come up pretty huge for me in the time being. These horsemen are over here. They're going to look, I think they're going to see this wall going up and try to do some damage. My scout should be a little bit farther out so we can see what's sitting there, because I would get some free horsemen right here if I was able to see them. I might be able to see them now as they come into vision, so we'll have to wait and see. There they go. Now I'm aware, and it looks like these horsemen are going to go into the first volley, so that's, again, another free horseman going forward. I'm going to click and bring all my villagers back. These horsemen don't stand a chance. You should not be diving like that. That is absolutely deadly. And here goes the TC. It looks like I'm able to thwart this one attack. I love how John's like, "You're on your own, my friend. I'm walling off." He'll give me a little house to get through eventually, but at this point, no, sir. It's always really nice when the English TC is able to take on the archers. That's the quickest way to do a lot of damage. Now there they all go. They're going back out. I think they're also repairing the TC accidentally. I'm housed yet again. We do see some houses going down. Finally, I'm making those adjustments on the fly. So hopefully I can get that done and does it pretty quickly. But now I have +1/+1 on this archer mass, and I'm sitting under my English TC with Network of Castles. They have Network of Castles back here, but they're not expanding it just yet. So we're sitting in a very good spot. We can see in the back end side a lot of investment into production over here for purple. We have also a very unique mill situation going on over there. We're going to leave that alone, pretend like I didn't see it. The houses are going up for blue as well, and no other production for blue. So blue's kind of sitting out here. This is a true all-in for them, and they're also getting gold out in the middle of the map, I guess. John's sitting back here, kind of chilling. Already starting to the granary transition as well, and we also see another deer pack going down for John on the backhand side. And it also has a little bit of a squadron over here that might be able to provide some help if needed. But at this point, they're kind of taking their sweet time. We're a little bit waiting out here. So as you can see, I'm going to try to throw down an outpost just so I can see what's coming at me. I know it's going to be pretty brutal. I haven't started to use this in the slightest. I don't know why. I could be producing spears right now, which would be so nice for me to have. But instead, I'm kind of just waiting it out, honestly. I think I'm also, oh yes, I'm going for that second TC. I know I need a little bit of help in that department, and I know that this TC might go down, and my only chance really is, if this does go down, to get another TC up and at him, and this is gonna be dead quickly. So please, oh no, that one villager goes down almost instantly, and here's the rams. We see that I'm trying to focus them down quickly, but I just pull the villagers back because I don't think I have a shot in hell of actually defending all of this. So as you can see, I'm starting to fall back behind the TC, and I know that I have to kill off these archers. That is the first and foremost thing that I'm going to have to do. And we have a lot of these horsemen going down, getting absolutely ripped apart by the TC. John is here to help, and I'm going to tell him to call in on these archers. And look, we have a lot more horsemen coming in as well. We have villagers now helping out this TC, and we have a few of them killing these rams over here. John's going to go after the rams after I call out, saying that I think we should be okay if we can kill off these rams. This TC is going to be able to rip them apart if I put these villagers back in. I would love to see these doing something besides actually attacking. They're not throwing, they're actually attacking the king and everything like that, which is actually hysterical. But now we're going to be, we should be in a good spot at this point, and these villagers are going to be able to start to go back to farming. And that is the first successful hold of this game, which is absolutely huge, because as you can see, in that meantime, I also slapped down a TC in the backhand side of my base on these deer. So we should be in a very good position. Purple has not thrown down another TC either, and neither has blue. Blue is now throwing up the white tower. So a naked fast castle, mid-map white tower. So they're going to be going all in on me. This is my current life. John is able to completely macro without pretty much any harm in the world. He's going to keep his soldiers over here, go through that gate whenever he needs to. But I'm just telling him, just go for broke. Just go for econ. At this point, with us holding this much already, We're already sitting in a very, very good position. So the better we can do, the better off, the more we can do, the better. At this point now, I also have another TC producing lots of villagers. So I'm going to be able to start to out macro both of these players out front. As you can see, I'm starting to mix in some men-at-arms because there's a lot of archers on the side of blue, and I just need something to face tank and provide a little bit of front line for my archer mass, which was depleted heavily in the last engage, but still up to 19, so not in the worst position ever. I'm just focusing more on villagers at this point, trying to get them as much as I possibly can. We're even going after the mill upgrades over here. We didn't get double broad axe just yet, but we have multiple lumber camps going down as well. So I'm just going to be trying to chill and hang out a little bit, and I think what I'm going to need is, I think I'm going to go for an early castle and try to get a white tower out front, because I think that would be the most ideal situation for me to help defend, because it's going to be nearly impossible to make this call. But I will say, when we saw this white tower going on up front, I knew we were in for a really rough time. John decides to pull back, which is the correct move, absolutely. This white tower is chock full of reinforcements. Does get the scout, which is a nice pickup. But when we saw that, I was like, honestly, John, I don't think there's anything over here on the backhand side to actually defend this base. So both are in Castle Age, and both of us are not. John is sitting, though, on 2 TCs, and so am I. So once we do get to Castle Age, it's going to be in a really, really good position for both of us. I've saved with enough gold. I've not had enough food at this point. Should move a few off of wood to actually get it over to the food production over here. What just happened? I just got a little ding in my ears. Oh, I think it was my Twitch sounds. I don't know if you heard that. I thought I turned them off, but hopefully that's not the case, because it still runs through OBS. It looks like I turned them off visually, but I did just get a follower on Twitch, so whoever that was, thank you so much. We're still kind of waiting. John's now into Castle Age on 2 TCs. China now has double the granary, so he's absolutely hard chilling. He has a full wall off as well. Purple sitting in a pretty good position over here as well. Did a lot of damage to me. Has the second town center. I think the worst for wear at this point is blue. Has also invested heavily into some trebuchets. So looking to be siege down my base, that's going to be the tactic over here. We have a few over here doing the straggler tree, which hopefully that changes up pretty quickly. But as you can see, my food is starting to float up to a point where I can start to throw down what I need. But I wouldn't be surprised to see, and there we go. So instantly takes down that mill. Actually a pretty good play by him. That's actually very frustrating, because I can't use these farms now, besides these 3 over here, without being pretty inefficient. And there we go. I now have the food. I have the gold. So I'm going to be throwing down a few more stables. I think I'm going to need some knights. I see that he has all these, so I want to dive upon blue. He does have the upgrades to the archers as well. And there goes the white tower. I know I just need to essentially just survive. That's the best case scenario. And I knew I needed to drop it back without vision, without him getting any vision, because I knew that would be in a really rough spot for me. I did see this army over here, knew I couldn't just actually go into it. So I was hoping, and I was telling John, I was like, I don't know what we should do. Maybe you should cross map. Honestly, at this point, you have a pretty sizable army, and there's no defense. Everything's over here. Everything they have is right in the middle over here. They even have a mangonel. So blue is really going all in for this fast castle. If this doesn't work, that's pretty much all she wrote. There's nothing they can really do on the back end side, especially because we've both been on 2 TCs for so long. As you can see, we can really start to get our macro going on the back end side. We have deer, we have villagers everywhere, and we decided to move out a little bit, and I think we're going to decide to pull back pretty quickly. I'm just trying to kill off one of these siege equipments to just save myself a little bit of time. We do end up getting we actually do end up getting the trebuchet. We actually get another mangonel, so it's actually pretty worth actually at this point if we can fall back. Purple also has a ton of knights going forward, so I was just trying to buy myself a little bit of time. I saw that the white castle popped up, so that was what I was really buying myself time for, is to make sure that I could get into that castle age as well. Now that I have popped up, I should be in a good spot. They can dive me over here, and I'm trying to defend this as best as I possibly can. These knights are now moving in. And I'm sure they're going to be seeing that white tower any moment now. Trying to trade out on these knights, which I don't have the army composition of any sort for that. But the white tower is now starting to throw some heaters from the left-hand side. And as you can see, these villagers are doing their best to keep this up. And I'm just trying to keep this army over here. That's my goal at this current moment. Just let John go untouched. As you can see from the points over here, yes, I am down, but John is heavily up. And look at all of this production going on over here. He's fully expanded. And luckily for me, I'm the English, so turtling is actually not too bad for me, especially with this white tower out front. It would be very hard for them to actually break through all of this. And they now invested 3 trebuchets over here. That's a lot of investment. On the back end side, blue does not have much at all. A few farms, some houses. So really looking like in a rough spot. They're going to be starting to capture the sacred sites, but luckily John has also scooped one up under his wall, so we should be good on that front. And as you can see, his units are really starting to pick up, and they have a lot of upgrades, +2, +2. So these are looking pretty scary over here. Even into this composition going forward, we do have a lot of upgraded longbowmen, because I don't think they have, they need to click this over here. They don't have enough of an economy on the backhand side. They do have the King's Palace, but that's about it. They have some pretty inefficient, a lot of wood going down. They really want some wood at this point, so we'll have to wait and see if that pans out. But on the backhand side, I'm just hard chilling, trying to just scatter out as much as I possibly can. Starting to get some knights out as well. See what I can do on the backhand side. See if I can snipe any of this siege. If I can snipe the siege, that will be absolutely huge. Now they're moving in on my white tower, so they still can't move in at this point. So I told John to just go back and try to draw them in somewhere else. So as you can see, he's moving in onto purple's base, which is completely undefended. And there goes the Lancers. It looks like they're also going to focus down this one prelate. They're trying to get some of these relics, and I think this is what's going to cause purple to fall back. And now blue without purple looks a lot less menacing, and he's starting to pick up a lot of these troops that are flowing across the map. So purple's trying to do some damage, as you can see, also trying to get as many relics as humanly possible on the backhand side. John's also developed some rams as well. There goes down my landmark. But unfortunately, I mean, for blue, he just has really siege. So he's going to have to slowly take down my whole base, and I have a lot of knights at this point. So if he does move away from these siege, they're going to all be taken down really, really quickly. As you can see, John's dealing really, really well with purple. And now blue, when blue pulls back, that's when we decide to hit the go button. I saw that blue decided to move forward. He left a lot of crossbowmen, which is actually good for him. But John made the call that now purple and blue are back there. So I told him to pull back, just wait a second. It's going to save me some time and some energy going forward. And as you can see, I'm trying to muster an army mass. And I'm like, okay, if blue's over there at this point, I can probably take down whatever's over here. And that's exactly what I'm going to be doing. There's no really front line for these crossbowmen. So even though they do counter these knights, they're not really much here to actually counter them. The mangonels are just sitting here chilling, which is actually what bought me a lot of time. Blue is dealing with those over there, and there goes the mangonels. Some really nice shots on behalf of blue, and I'm trying to move in as best I can, get absolutely flattened. That did not work out in the slightest. Didn't realize that there was 3 mangonels over there. So it didn't work out in the slightest, but I am calling to John if he has any additional troops, because he was able to actually take the victory over there because he's been so untouched over at this point. He has a constant flow of army. I was like, hey, all these siege are completely abandoned. I did do a good enough job at trimming down the forces over here, and all these siege are completely undefended, and there they go. Look at them all. John is now running in on them. There's Lancers galore, and that is going to be a quick evaporation. So at this point, I was just a sponge that needed to take as much of the pressure as possible. As you can see, blue decided to go a naked Imperial Age, purple decided to go Imperial. They have some control on the map, but that Imperial Age is a lot of resources that they're not throwing down. And at this point, the Berkshire Palace is also going down for blue. So they just decided to stop going and they decided to go up to the next level. But at this point, as you can see, blue, with evaporating all of those forces, we were able to take the lead because of this second TC that I was able to get out quickly. And I'm starting to build up my town center yet again to try to get some sort of lead going on over here. John is continuing diving this white tower. There's only 3 units in here, so it's really not that scary of a white tower, and it's going to take a long time to kill off these palace guards and these lancers. There goes John into the Imperial Age as well, so going to be the second one there, but his economy is far better than Purple's, because Purple spent a lot of money trying to attack me in the early stages with those horsemen. So at this point, we're going to be hanging out, and we're going to be able to clear up all of this, and there goes the white tower finally. And now we're going to be starting to really focus over here. As you can see, we're even moving in on the back end side. There's the Berkshire Palace. And now I'm starting to flow in a lot of horsemen because I had a lot of excess food. And I also have too much wood. So I'm going to try to navigate that pretty quickly so I can make sure that I'm not going to be too pop-capped. I did see the Berkshire Palace, so I decided to pop out a trebuchet, a few trebuchets as well, because I know that there's going to be, we're going to have to break down their forces over here, because the English are very hard to break down, as you saw from me making all those defenses. So I have a lot of horsemen now flowing through. I'm looking to drop. I know I need to get Imperial Age pretty quickly. We're able to take a huge win in the middle of the map, and now blue is sitting. They are starting to trade in the back end side. As you can see, the trade transition is happening. So we're going to have to put a stop to that or do some serious economic damage, which I think we did in the middle. We did do a really good job at flattening them down, which is really nice. And we also know that purple has been imperial for quite some time, so it's going to be really tough to deal with over there. And they do have 2 TCs, and they have that Berkshire Palace, so I think blue is the ideal target moving forward. We see this army. I see Imperial Age Knights, and I decide to dip back quite quickly. I'm like, we don't want that smoke in the slightest. We need some crossbowmen. As you can see, that's where I'm going, and we also need a lot more knights. Humongous dings into the Imperial Age, so there's the Berkshire Palace. We're aware of it as well because John had a few soldiers going in over here, and the trade has begun for purple, so we'll have to wait and see our response to that. But we do have the trebuchets coming in, and we know that at this point we do have a solid force, so we know we can't just throw them in. I think John accidentally misclicked there. I think we also just want to see what we could do going forward. Attack as much as we possibly can and take out these forces before blue is able to really get anything going on the back end side. And these horsemen are providing a lot of nice tankiness because I just saw a lot of longbowmen, which is good. There are Imperial Age, but they still take a long time to take out these horsemen. And then, as you can see, I'm starting to float a lot of resources. I'm trying to get to that Imperial Age as quickly as I possibly can. And I think I'm going to be dropping my Berkshire Palace forward instead of backwards. There it is. I'm like, you know what? We need some support so they can't just engage on us. And my trebuchets have a nice place to fall back to. So that's the current plan. John's just been chilling back here. Look at all this production building. Doing a great job macroing and getting up for all we can do. And then we can also see I'm starting to reinvest in my economy with all the villagers that I have just hanging out. And we'll probably start to get enclosures and everything like that once I ding that Imperial Age. But we're all back here. I need some more farms for sure. As you can see, I have like 5 scattered about. I have 1 gold mine, but there's also 1 in the middle, which we can definitely take advantage of once this Berkshire Palace decides to go up. And all these forces are protecting these siege equipments. I wanted to make sure that these would not be going in. As you can see, blue is trying to keep up, but doesn't really have too much going on because he's been so focused on killing me. There's not much he can really do. 3-3 in his technology tab, which is really nice at this point for them. I'm also 2-2. I don't have any ramps because I don't feel like I really need them. And John at this point is just macroing up and continuing to macro up, starting to get some nest of bees out as well. And those are Imperial Age elite palace guards, which are absolutely brutal. And there's the trebuchets. I think that this one knight just wanted to see what was going on. Does see the Berkshire Palace going up, so knows that there's not much they can really do. John sends some palace guards to deal with this pretty quickly. And they're also almost as fast as the knights, so they're able to catch up pretty quickly. And there's the Berkshire Palace quickly going up, and I'm saying, okay, I want to do another keep drop even farther forward, so let's get some stone going pretty quickly. I still have a ton of food and wood, so I could definitely start to spam these horsemen. But at this point, I think we're just going to start the siege down of their stuff instead of us getting sieged down. I know that trebuchets are the only answer to the Berkshire Palace. It's the only thing that can actually put up with that insanely long range. And now John is starting to flow in these very, very pricey elite palace guards and protecting mine at all costs. There's enclosures, there's network of castles, so I'm getting all the right things, and we have a lot of horsemen coming out as well. I'm waiting for the upgrades before we decide to go in. I'm telling John I just need a few more seconds. I think John's saying like, hey dude, at this point we got plenty going forward. I have more knights coming into the fray. And I'm going to keep drop yet again. I got my enough stone, and I'm going to slowly move forward into this to make it more advantageous. Also get that network of castle bonus for me at least, and my units that are going to be in range of this. We're going to be taking out their council hall, so not as easily able to reproduce that archer mass that they currently have. Purple, even though he's been in Imperial Age for quite some time, not a big fan of upgrading these archers. They're always the last to get it. Same with the crossbowmen. We do see that where those knights go. We have a lot of traders on the backhand side, but a lot of inefficient mining. It looks like he's starting to kill off villagers in favor of trading, which is actually quite insane. As you can see, this force is getting absolutely insane. More nests of bees are arriving, and John just saying we can just go. Like there's no way we can't with this much stuff. I've started to attack into the archers with the trebuchets to see if we can entice them in with a nest of bees shot. And there they are. And there's the Springholt's army is coming up, which is going to be really, really good to take out the nest of bees. But now at this point, John's like, we can just go. We can just go. I want to get these Springholts down as quickly as possible. But look at those fire arrows coming in from the English. And we still don't have any. All my upgrades are still waiting. I'm waiting for this knight upgrade. I'm like, I can wait. And then John's like, I'm going. I'm not waiting for this any longer. Nest of Bees almost eradicates his entire army. Not much micro there for the blue player, but this Nest of Bees is getting so much damage. Palace Guards are able to tank this Berkshire Palace for absolute days. I'm diving in on all this ranged mass over here with my horsemen. As you can see in the bottom side of the tab, I'm starting to instantly reproduce this army with the amount of money I have left. And we're just completely cleaning house. I've completely cleaned out all these Springholts and all that range mass on the other side. Humongous GGs, because there goes the Berkshire Palace, and a GG on both sides. I hope you guys enjoyed this Season 5 first video of Journey to Diamond. If you did enjoy, please do subscribe and leave a like. If you are also enjoying casting and you want me to cast your game, please go follow my Twitch or submit it to my email. And I hope you guys have a great night.